Good morning, everyone. This is JuLā DuCré live here at the radio station Crescent City Radio in New Orleans. I hope you all enjoy the show. Coming up for my Blues Legends interview series is the incredibly talented Bobby Jones. I'm getting set up right now, ladies and gentlemen, to go live, so just bear with me in just one moment. I'll be right back. Good morning, everybody who's tuned in right now. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is JuLā DuCré, the host of the JuLā DuCré, coming at you live here on the beautiful campus of Loyola University in our city of New Orleans. Welcome. Well, I've missed you guys so much, and as always, I've promised, whenever I'm not here, I'm always going to come back stronger than ever. Today, I present to you my Blues Legends interview series with my special guest, Bobby Jones. So without any further ado, I want you all to sit back, relax, and ride the music, because I'm going to be coming back with a great show. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys feeling this morning? Good morning, everyone. Okay, great. I think you guys can hear me better. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Not only did he give me the lowdown, he gave me the stinky, nasty, and funky blues. Good morning, everybody. This is JuLā DuCré, and I'm extremely happy to be back here live at Crescent City Radio, Music for Your Mind. It is a beautiful, beautiful sunny morning here in New Orleans, and I've got to get this camera right. Good morning, everybody. This is JuLā DuCré live in the studio. I am broadcasting right now at this moment on 2 cameras, and I am absolutely loving what I am seeing right now. I'd like to give an extremely big shout out to our station manager. Wait, let me straighten my glasses. If you are friends with me on Facebook, JuLā DuCré, J-U-L-A DuCré, D-U-C-R-E, I'm going to give you a moment to send me a friend request, and hopefully I'll be able to let you in before I start my interview with the extraordinary blues legend Bobby Jones, who's going to be calling in from Las Vegas, Nevada. That is where he lives and performs these days. He has recorded over 200 songs, and I think that he is a little bit early. They are 2 hours behind our time, but we're going to go ahead and get him in. Good morning. Welcome to the JuLā DuCré Show. This is your host, JuLā DuCré.
Well, hello, JuLā DuCré.
Well, good morning. You know what? Yesterday when we spoke, I said, oh, I think you were a few minutes, your clock was a few minutes off, and I think that I'm a few minutes off this morning. But I love it. I love it when an artist is on time. That's a beautiful thing. So how are you feeling this morning, Bobby Jones?
I feel like the king that I am.
You are the king, and shall I say the one and only Bobby Jones? Can I say that?
Yes.
Thank you for gracing my radio talk show this morning. This is your first time here, and I just want to say that I feel privileged and honored to have you here as my esteemed guest for my very first Blues Legend interview series. So thank you so very much.
You're very welcome, JuLā.
What I like to do, I'd like you to introduce yourself to your fans who are watching the JuLā DuCré show on JuLā DuCré on Facebook, and also watching Big G Artist Agency's broadcast on YouTube. Who is Mr. Bobby Jones?
Well, my name is Bobby Jones. I was born in a little town called Farmerville, Louisiana. It's between Monroe and Grambling. I've been running around this big world for quite some years. I won't give numbers because it scares me. But it's been a beautiful run, and you don't know how glad I am, how proud I am to be talking to you this morning.
Thank you.
I'm a blues singer, but I'm specialized in blues, but I'm a singer. I sing Frank Sinatra if I had to. I'm way around it that way, but Blues is my specialty.
So you are a singer. You can sing. You know, like and let me say this now. Let me throw this disclaimer out, okay, before I piss anybody off. Remember, did you ever watch the Ike and Tina Turner story? Now that was from Tina's point of view, obviously. You know how they said there are three sides to every story, right? There are three sides. Do you believe there are three sides to every story?
Yes.
Well, if you saw that movie, they were in a diner and eat the cake, anime, and you know I could hear that in my head, like sing, Bobby, sing. Did anybody ever tell you that when you were a small child growing up, when they heard that beautiful voice, sing, Bobby, sing?
No, they used to tell me to shut up.
That's funny.
It's the truth. It's the truth. I was, you know, I was raised by my grands, you know, so they had not a clue about what we're doing at this point in life. You know, what you and I are doing right now. They never, you know, they could never pick that up in their brain. So my granddaddy was quite a mean guy, and he would always tell me to shut up all that noise. But I tell you what did happen, JuLā. I got a job after I got out of the service. I got a job at the steel mill in Chicago. I moved to Chicago. And while I worked, did my job, I would sing songs. So now that's where the Sing Bobby come from. Sing Bobby. Bobby, sing. Sing, make us feel better. Bobby, you need to go and sing. You sing better than most of these people in Chicago. You know? So I grabbed onto that. After a while, I thought, well, all these people can't have bad ears, you know. So that's where it all came together in Chicago, under Muddy Waters and with Junior Wells and Buddy Guy and Otis Rush and all these guys, you know, they took me under their wings and said, man, you got something. So they pushed me to the level that I am today. And I thank God for that, and I thank them every time I talk to them.
Amen to that. Now, when you were growing up, you said in Farmerville, Louisiana?
Yes.
Where is that located approximately? Is it near like Monroe?
Yes. It's between Monroe and Grambling and Monroe and El Dorado, Arkansas. It's out in the country.
Oh, so you were a country boy.
It's a tiny little town, had a couple of stoplights, you know, but I didn't live in the town, but my mail came through that, you know, that was my, that's how I did my business, through Farmerville, Louisiana. But I lived way out in the country. You know, I lived about 15 miles from there, from the little town, you know. But Farmerville was the place, you know, was my home stamp. They put the Farmerville stamp on me.
That Farmerville stamp. What was it like for you as a small child growing up?
Well, it was quite strange, because some other people thought that you shouldn't be there, you know, that you should stay out in the country and not come to town. So there was heckling and name calling, and I even got spit on one time.
Are you referring to racism? Because right now we're in such a high political climate. I was watching something on YouTube last night, and there was a story recently regarding two Hale graduate students who the police were called on because one girl was sitting in her dormitory on a higher floor writing a thesis or something. She had her laptop, her backpack, her computer. Well, computer's a laptop. She had her books, backpack, and laptop, cell phone, sitting on a couch, writing a thesis, studying, and she fell asleep. And a white female approached her, and she, called the police, and the African-American female felt she was being harassed. I don't know if she was being harassed, but she was subjected to things that most white Americans would not be, in terms of having to prove that you have the right to be there. You know what I mean? And, I think that the police were kind of put in a bad situation, in my opinion, because we all know that when police officers are called, it's their job to investigate, and, she wasn't arrested, but she felt publicly humiliated. And as a woman of color myself, I definitely can understand how this young woman felt. Imagine here, I'm on the radio station, and another broadcaster doesn't know who I am, sees me standing outside of the door and calls 911, and they come, and I have to show my driver's license, and it's still not enough, and I have to log on to my account and let them listen to 10 years of beautiful broadcasting at Crescent City Radio, and then still that's not enough, and you're still having to prove and constantly prove that you are who you say you are, and then finally they let you go. It does something to your psyche. It does something that chips away. Do you agree?
I totally agree in that, but that's not by accident. That's a plan. That's been the plan since back in the slavery, early years of slavery. It's another form of slavery. Is what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Well, I think that we all need to do our part, people of all colors, because there's only one human race. I think that people need to stop being afraid and try to understand folks, and then maybe, we can all come together and live on this one planet. There is one planet. There's one planet for white people, one planet for black people, Asian, Indian, everything. And until people stop being so afraid, it's like fearing, the black man, or fearing the black woman or the black children, this is never going to stop. There are a lot of good people in all different colors. I know some bad black people, and I know some bad white people, okay? That's just the bottom line. And I think through over, 400 years of bondage, especially from that recent ridiculous comment that Kanye West made. Did you hear about what Kanye West said, that slavery was a choice? What do you think about that, Bobby?
Well, Kanye is a man that I try hard not to listen to. I try hard not to indulge in his lifestyle, because he can say some of the craziest things. The funniest thing is, he was raised up in Chicago.
Right.
Like I was basically raised up in Chicago after Louisiana, because I was just 20. I was 22 when I got to Chicago. I don't know. I've heard some things about Kanye, but I would never hear it myself, because I see him and I tell him. It's not
about it for the first time. I'm the administrator in the official radio broadcasters group on Facebook, and I post some questions. I did a poll. Nobody, maybe one or two people participated, but I wanted to ask folks, how do you feel about, the freedom of speech? Because yes, he has that freedom to say whatever he wants to say. However, I feel that when you are, especially in the public eye, that you are accountable for everything that you say and everything that you do, because especially on the level that Kanye West is, a lot of young people A lot of young white kids, young black kids, Asian kids look up to him as a role model. And you can say the wrong thing to just kind of make yourself relevant or to sell up and coming, digital downloads, because it's my understanding that he has a new album out. But I believe that Kanye has some deep rooted issues, because he is a dark and black man, right? Money never makes the man, because you are not strong within. You can have $1 billion, but if you're not strong in yourself, you do not have love of self that is required to keep you grounded, then you say ridiculous like that. Do you have a statement?
Totally agree with that. I totally agree. If you, I know I have some friends that's millionaires, 10 times or over, and most of them have this same Kanye West, persona about them, I should say. So what you just said is a powerful statement, and it's very true. And I thank God for you.
And I thank God for you. And I just want to say to every person, every black person, every Native American, Asian people, Spanish people, we are all one. We have got to stop looking at the color of a person's skin first. And like Martin Luther King said, and you know some of those famous words, right, Mr. Jones?
For sure.
It's not by the what? It's not by the color of the skin.
That's right.
But the contents of the character. Right.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
That's what it's all about. Now let's get back to Formerville, Louisiana. Formerville, Louisiana. Bobby, were you raised in a church? Did you go to Baptist church? Because let me tell you, when I hear your voice, I can hear Baptist blues and gospel.
I was a junior deacon at my church.
Oh, really?
I was a junior deacon out there in that country. Also had a quartet. I had four singers with me. Everybody had a quartet back then, like everybody, they had no music. We sung together.
Do you recall one of your favorite songs that you sang?
Let's see. Oh my God! But I can't. It's hard for me to put it up right now.
Do you recall "Go Tell It on the Mountains"? Do you know that song, Bobby?
Of course.
Yes. That was was that Mahalia Jackson?
Yes. And then everybody sung it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I knew Mahalia.
You knew Mahalia. When did you and Mahalia Jackson meet?
I met Mahalia with Mr. Jesse Jackson and Pop Staples. Mr. Jesse was an expo in Chicago. And at that time, Mr. Jackson was very popular. And at that time, my brother was a Blackstone Ranger. If you probably don't know who those guys were.
Well, can you care to elaborate about who are the Blackstone Rangers? I've never heard of it before.
The Blackstone Rangers was a gang, was a street gang. That sort of ran the black part of Chicago through Mayor Daley. Mayor Daley was our mayor. I've always somehow got thrown in the pot with celebrities. I bet you I know every singer in this country, and with more singers than musicians. you know.
Well, let's talk about that. How many years have you been in this industry? About 50?
50
Ooh,
years.
I need to get some Mega Powerball tickets because I hit it like 50 years. That is extraordinary. But let's go back. Let's back it up just for a quick moment. So, you were in the youth choir, a Baptist youth choir. Can you tell us, meaning your listeners and all the fans, blues fans around the world, how old were you when you said, "Oh, wow, I love some blues music"? Who were some of the people, blues artists back then that you listened to?
Um, you know, there was a radio station. You being in the radio business, you might know John Richburg
Yes.
out of Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and Gene Noble.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the two people that played the black music after 9 o'clock at night. So now the people that was hot was like Johnny Ace, Buddy Ace,
Yes.
Charles Brown, B.B. King had
Yes.
came on the scene. Bobby Bland came on the scene. And you see, the people that I just called off, I know all of them. I used to ride around with B.B. King and Bobby Bland.
Did you get a chance to go to B.B. King's funeral? I did. In
No, I didn't.
Indianola.
No, I was in Oslo, Norway.
You were in Norway? Oh.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I told you guys this man has been around the world. I am bringing you the very best of the best entertainers right here on Crescent City Radio, Music for Your Mind. And I really want to say thank you, Jay Crudy. Jay Crudy is our station's manager. I don't know any station manager who works harder than Jay Crudy. Jay Crudy is what keeps this radio station on. This is the reason why we have a radio station post Hurricane Katrina, is because of our station engineer and also the head of faculty here at the Munich Communications building. And I see that Jay Crudy is getting lots and lots of love. Sometimes when you work in the background, you're not getting recognized. So I just wanted to take this small opportunity and just say thank you, Jay, for everything and all that you do. Now, I want to go back a little bit further with you, Bobby Jones. I have to say that. Bobby Jones, Jones, or a.k.a. J-O-N-Z. However you want to spell, he is the baddest, one of the baddest blues legends. I'm speaking with the legend, guys. Do you guys understand how big this is? It's not every day that one will have an opportunity to speak with someone who has made a significant part in the world's, creating the world's best music, best blues music. Okay? When I was growing up and I didn't understand the blues, I didn't like the blues. But let me tell you, and Bobby, I want you to tell everybody what the blues means to you, but I'm going to tell you what the blues became to me. As a young child growing up, I didn't listen to the blues, my sister did, and I was like young and ignorant and dumb. Oh, I don't like this kind of music. I want to listen to Michael Jackson. I want to listen to the Jackson 5. I want to listen to Diana Ross, all these other people, Shaka Khan. I didn't want to listen to no blues. As I got older and started having some bad relationships and feeling the blues,
Yes.
it was like this light came on and the bell went off in my head like ding, 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 ding. That low down. And I wrote a song called Low Down Dirty Blues. But, Bobby, can you tell your fans around the world, what is the blues? What does the blues mean to you?
The blues carries me through life. For some reason, you know, my grandmother raised me. She raised me. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't get high. All these years, I've never done that because of my grandmother. I promised her I wouldn't, so I don't, you know. So, but I think I hope God don't spank me for this. I think that I changed from gospel because the gospel makes me feel this same way that the blues does. You know, when I sing the blues, sometimes you can see my eyes fill up with tears. And when I sing gospel, there's no doubt you'll see it run down my face. So it's a strong meaning. My granddaddy used to abuse me, so that's one part of the blues. He used to throw my food in my plate from where he was sitting, like a biscuit. My grandmother used to make biscuits. He would throw a biscuit in my plate from where he was sitting. I was a little kid. Well, I had just came from, my mother had 15 children.
Ooh.
But I didn't know her.
Oh.
But now here's what happened. My mother, I'm changing your subject, I'm sorry, but...
No. Listen, let me interrupt you for a moment. Hey, Bobby, let me interrupt you. This is not about me. This morning is about you. So do your thing.
Okay, so when I was 3 months old, well, my mother was working for these white folks, okay? The Pickens family over in Dubois, Louisiana. She was pregnant but picking cotton. She had a 9-foot cotton sack, and she had the baby there in the cotton house. If I tear up a little bit on this, don't hold against me, okay?
Oh, no.
She had the baby, which was me, a little redhead baby, little red, ugly looking baby, but I'm glad I grew up and got real fine looking.
Yeah, fine. Fine as wine.
Thank you, darling. Listen, my mother was trying to work and make ends meet for whatever reason, the other children, So this white woman, she was kind of looking after me, so she asked my mother to give me to her. And my mother just handed it. And then that's how I got with my grandparents. They found out that I was over there, So.
Well, what was it like as a young child? In a white family, a black child.
It was. Being my age, I couldn't see any difference.
Wow.
I couldn't see any difference. There might have been, but I ate the same thing. We ate at the same table. Slept. I slept. I had a room of my own. A bed of my own.
That's a beautiful story. That is such a beautiful story. It's just an example to people who are watching JuLā DuCré with the blues legend Bobby Jones, that all it requires is just opening up your heart.
Yes, it is.
Because we're almost halfway. Well, we are halfway through 2018, and it's like the political climate has escalated, the racial climate, and then now you have these youngsters bombing and shooting people up in schools. It's just a horrible, horrible situation. It just requires to just open up your heart and give people a chance. Now let's no, go ahead.
JuLā, I have a girlfriend that she frowns at the fact that I give a little too much to people, like money or a ride or, she fusses about that. I wouldn't take them nowhere. They buy me no gas. I said, but listen, I have to always remember what my grandmother told me. God is watching me. God's got his eyes on you and me and the whole world. I don't know if you know, do you know about the volcano?
Yes, I've been watching news footage, but I have not seen any recent updates.
Yeah, it's so dangerous. You know, the Bible says that it'll buy here. But if your daddy at home, the way he raised you and charged you, that's the same thing that God in heaven does. He just does it differently. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Chitlin circuit, because I'm sure if you have been in the music business for 50 years, you know exactly what I'm talking about, the Chitlin circuit.
You can bet on it. I'm sorry.
Can you describe some of the most difficult times during that portion of your life? Because it's my understanding from the young lady who is assisting you in editing your book. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Jones has written a book. And hey, Bobby, what is the title of your book?
All Because of the Blues.
All Because of the Blues. And when do you expect the book to be released?
About the middle of June.
Yeah, that's what she said. Shout out to Mary. Thank you, Mary, for making this interview possible and working with me, getting me all the information that I needed to move forward. Okay, so you are a man of history. You were involved in the Chitlin circuit. Can you explain to our listeners and our viewers what was the Chitlin circuit? What was that and what was it like?
Well, it wasn't hard for me because I had known hard all my life, so it was just a cruise for me. You know, it was just, I know, in other words, I know what God is doing, so it makes my life much easier. You know, it makes my routes much easier to travel. But the Chitlin circuit was something like the world is now. I mean, it was people were angry. They were nasty. When I mean nasty, I mean they would work all day and come. They work all day Friday and come Friday night with the same clothes on. And I have a pint of whiskey in the back pocket and a handkerchief hanging out of the pocket, the other pocket. And if somebody stepped on somebody's foot, then it was on. I mean, there was no forgiveness, you know. I busted him in his mouth. He stepped on my shoe, my butt. So, and as far as the bands went, and the club, let me describe most of the clubs. They were small. They had no suction fans. The smoke lingered, you know. It lingered. So, if you went to the Chitlin circuit, and listen to this, most of us just loved that. We just loved what was going on. And it's amazing, but that's the truth. I used to work at the steel mill. I would wear a suit to work and wear and I work, change my clothes when I get to work. And when I get off, I'd put on, take a shower, and put on my suit again and go straight to the chitlin circuit. I'd make some rounds. It would two or three, 4 or 5 chitlin circuits, and they had a band in every one of them. People like Muddy Waters and Lil Walter and Otis Rush and Junior Wells and Buddy Guy, you know, and there wasn't many lady singers through my upcoming chitlin circuit. There wasn't many ladies.
Well, I believe there were like the Supremes back then and Aretha Franklin.
They didn't play the chitlin circuit.
They didn't play the chitlin circuit?
No, they was big.
I'm talking about early on. I remember watching a documentary, and I remember when Aretha Franklin, you know, left the church and started. It was my understanding that she did I don't know how long she did it. She did the chitlin circuit, because what I wanted you to do is pretty much explain what is the chitlin circuit, because back then that was before segregation, and black artists typically would play in it's usually black clubs, and it was very difficult for them to get a hotel room, and sometimes they may be playing, let's just say, 200 miles in this town, and then they have to drive the 289 miles somewhere else just to get hotel rooms, because they were not able, because of the fact that, you know, it was whites only, that they could not stay in the hotels in that particular. That was understanding.
That is true. That is very true. But people, the artists, you know, and they had a hard time getting gas for their vehicles, especially, and you know, there was a company in Chicago called Chess Records.
I've heard of them.
And they called it Cadillac Records in the movie.
Right.
Okay. So, you know, he gave all of his artists, the ones that was prosperous, bringing in lots of money for him, he gave them Cadillacs. So most of the guys, when they went out south, they'd be driving Cadillacs. So back then, it was like, yes.
Bobby, let me interrupt you. This is very important. It's very important. When you say they gave them Cadillacs, did they give them the title, or did they give them Cadillacs to drive?
Well, Howlin' Wolf got his title. The guy that wrote all those blues songs, I forget his name right now, but I knew him very well.
Muddy Waters?
No, he didn't write the songs. The guy that played the upright bass, he made a great big song out of Wang Dang Doodle.
Oh yes, I know you talk. I can't think of his name, but yeah, I'm familiar with this guy. Right.
Okay. So, but the studio guys, they left it. You know, if you wanted a Cadillac and you didn't have sense enough to make a deal, then when you're Cadillac guy.
Well, you know what happens even in today's history. You know, you see these rappers wearing all that bling, all the bling bling. Hey, they got that $150,000 Rollie wrist, right? They driving all of these fine cars, right? Then all of a sudden one day you hear about that rapper, home rapper doesn't have any money. The wait on that house, that's my house. You know, now allegedly, I don't know how true it is. Allegedly, Tupac, remember Tupac, the rapper Tupac? Yeah. Allegedly, Tupac thought he, at that time, I think around 1994ish, whatever, it was alleged that he was worth $24 million. But after his death, allegedly, his mother mother, Afeni Shakur, may she forever rest in peace, determined that he had maybe $100 in his bank account. And the home, that mansion that Tupac lived in, was allegedly in the name of Death Row Records in all the vehicles. So this is a lesson to us, right? Read the contract.
Yes.
Hey, I have some of great music in a moment. I want to ask you, during your time during the Chitlin circuit, did you ever achieve Ray Charles?
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Ray was funny. He was to me, and you know how great a singer he was, a musician. He was funny and all of that. So funny to talk to you. And he finished his show, and he had a chauffeur, of course. So he kept saying, "But come, I'm hungry." At the car, come. The guy, like some girl, Ray could see him or what he was. So he was taking his time. Ray, I know what I do. You know, he stuttered. I know what I do. I drive and go get me something to eat myself.
A blind man driving, right?
He got under the wheel. Now I want to and drove down that street a block. There was cars very close. There was just a arm over him, about an arm length away from him. He got in that car, and that guy was running down the street. Wait. You can't do this, Ray. He said, I'm doing it. You wasn't going to help me. Why don't you go on? I know you was with some gal, so go on back and get with her and let me find me another driver. I got him right there on the spot.
You know, Ray allowed that. You know the story you're telling me right now?
Yeah.
He included that in the Ray movie. Did you see that movie?
No.
Yes.
I saw the movie. Do you mean with Fox?
Yes, he included that. One of your fans, Andrea LB Wing, she's with Detroit Hot Radio. She is watching and listening right now. She says the person who wrote Bang Doodle is Willie Dixon.
That's him.
Thank you, Andrea. We love you. Thank you.
That's exactly who it is, Big Willie Dixon.
Willie Dixon. Now, let me ask some more questions, and we're going to play some music, and then we're going to come back and we're going to chat a little bit further. During your 50 years in the music industry, what have some of for you, and what has been some of the most worst times for you?
Well, my childhood was my getting my footage in Chicago was next to the worst, and I got picked up by Maury Alexander and Bill Astley, who recorded me, and you know, I got some mini hits, but I could work on it. So that was the first stepping stone. And then I changed from stuff like Jackson, Jerry Butler, okay. I changed from that to King, Bobby Blake, Muddy Waters, and all the blues stuff. So that's when the best part came. Randy Churkoff. We had a group called the Manish Boys, and I was the singer. So we Spain, Paris, Oslo, Norway, a little town called Dusseldorf.
I have been there, by the way, Dusseldorf.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have been there.
Dusseldorf?
Yes, when I was on vacation. I really have.
I'd be doggone. I like that little place.
I do too.
Yeah.
Did you eat I fell in love when I went to overseas, but I still have trouble pronouncing it correctly. So, JuLā DuCré fans, don't get upset. Wiener Schnitzel, whatever. Yeah, I think it's Schnitzel or Wiener Schnitzel, whatever. It's a very thinly sliced pork, and they batter it in flour, and they fry it in a lot of Wiener Schnitzel, something like that, and they fry it in butter, lots and lots and butter, and you eat it as a side with pasta or something like that. Wiener Schnitzel. I didn't say that, but I ate a whole lot of that.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't try that.
Oh, you did? I did everything. I said, if you don't kill me, I'm going to try it.
I know. You sound like you would.
I did. I did. And they had to hold me back. They said, oh, no. I said, no, I'm going to try a little bit of everything. I didn't try any drugs. Across from our hotel was a store because, like in Switzerland, you can go just walk out the door and go buy some marijuana. It's free. But I just wanted to go in the store and see. And my sister was like, no, girl, we're not going to go to a pot store. I said, you don't have to go. I'll go. I just want to see. Oh, you might get a contact. You might catch high just walking in the store. And I said, I'll get over it. But it turns out we didn't go.
Okay.
You've had such an extraordinary life. So what I want to do to celebrate you this morning, then we're going to come back. So don't go nowhere, Bobby Jones. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is your host, JuLā DuCré, having a wonderful conversation with the legendary blues artist, Bobby Jones. This is my first blues legendary interview series. One quick question, Bobby Jones, and when we come back, I want to speak with you in this regard. Is my understanding that Pete Peterson worked with you on an album? Is that true?
Very true.
I want to talk about that project. I want to talk about how you and Pete Peterson meet. For those of you who do not know who Pete Peterson is, when Motown Records moved Motown from Hitsville, Detroit, to Los Angeles, California, at some point in time, Pete Peterson became the chief financial officer for Berry Gordy. And he stayed with Motown for 27 years, right up until the time when Motown, I think, when Berry sold. Berry Gordy sold Motown, I think, $60 million or something like that. Don't quote me on it. But Pete Peterson went in and found Peterson Boys Music, something like Desert Sound Records, and started working with some of the best, some of the top blues artists, and Bobby Jones is one of them. Shout out to Chuck Roberson in Madison, Florida. He worked with Chuck on the Devil Made Me Do It album. So I want to talk with you, Bobby, regarding working with Pete Peterson, because Mary tells me there is a mention in your book regarding Pete Peterson. How cool is that?
Hey, listen, Pete Peterson took me under his wing and took me to wherever he lived in Georgia, I think it was, wherever he lived. And he put me up in a hotel. I wrote songs, some of the songs that's on that Ain't Got No Proof album. When there are people always talk about people. When I hear people say things about Pete Peterson, I said, I don't know the one you met. But the one I met, the one I know, is Beauty.
Absolutely. I love me some Pete Peterson. I love me some Pete Peterson.
And I want to tell you this, Miss Julie, he's one of the richest black men in this country.
I know that he is. And that's not why I love Pete Peterson.
Oh, no, it don't have nothing to do with it.
I know he's one of the richest black men in this country. I definitely know that. But I love him because of his heart. You know, just always wanting to help people. You know what he said to me? He said, JuLā DuCré, before I leave this earth, I'm going to help make you famous.
And he will.
That's what he said. And Pete, if you're listening, I love you. I am ready.
And I guarantee you he's listening in the Philippines.
Oh, shout out to and his beautiful wife and their beautiful children out there. They're just
he got a little boy that's amazing.
Yes. So what I like to do, I was going through some of the selections. She sent me like 16 songs. I just said, just send me whatever you can. Send me a bunch. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick one of my favorite songs.
Okay.
The one that I've chosen right now to play is called Born at Night, but not what?
Not last night.
All right now. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to be right back with the blues legend, Bobby Jones, live here on the JuLā DuCré Show at Crescent City Records. Or shall I say Crescent City Radio? Ooh, music for your mind.
I was born at night, but not last night.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying my show. I have 2 cameras on right now, YouTube, and also this beautiful, lovely desktop Mac monitor at Crescent City Radio.
I was born at night, but not last night. Not last night, honey.
I want to give some shout outs to Henry DuCré, good morning. Andrea LB from Detroit Hot Radio. Thomas Loman. Martin Harmon. Myra Kuzan. Boss Lady PJ. And everybody else who's tuned in right now. I can't see everybody's names, but you know it's nothing but love for you. All right, guys. Woo! This is how I do it, y'all. This is how I do it. Should I back it up? Does anybody want to see me back it up? To Eric Brown, does anybody want to see JuLā DuCré back it up? No, I can't back it up, y'all. I like to act crazy at times. I can't back it up. I'm not going to back it up right here inside of Crescent City Radio. I will not back it up. My boogie shoes. I want to boogie with you. That's what I hear. I hear my boogie shoes. So guess what? If you hear my boogie shoes, I'm sure my boogie shoes sampled this music by Bobby Jones. Now check it out. I'm going to sing and I want y'all to listen. Put on my boogie shoes. I want to boogie with you. And it's a great thing. Listen. My boogie shoes. Hey, shout out to Renee Buggy Parker. Hey, love you, man. Thanks for tuning in.
I was born at night, but not last night.
Woo!
No, not last night, girl.
Woo! Woo! Oh, Lord. Sorry, y'all. Turn that monitor up. I hope I didn't bust anybody's eardrums. I'm going to play another song. Okay, I love that song, and I want to get one more song in that Mary sent to me. To turn this monitor down just a little bit. Sometimes I get a little excited when I'm in the studio and I'm really feeling it. You have another song, Bobby, called Come Home. Ooh, Come Home with Tonight. What does that mean?
Come home with me tonight.
Oh, come home with me tonight. Oh, she wrote Come Home Tonight. So I'm going to play that one, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit further. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
I want everybody to keep it right here. Don't go anywhere, because this is your host, JuLā DuCré. This is how I make radio cool again on Crescent City Radio. Music for your mind. I'll be right back. Now we're about to take this nice and easy.
I have gone around this whole wide world, but I've never met a girl like you. Please,
and I promise to turn the monitor down before I go back on the mic. Okay, I don't want to bust your eardrums. How's everybody feeling? Hi, Thomas Loman. I just gave Detroit Hot Radio a huge shout out. Love you, man. Thank you. I'll take that. Thank you.
I know we're gonna be all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to music by blues legend Bobby Jones.
Please come home with me tonight. Let me tell you what. It's like a dance.
Woo!
Life is what you make it.
Sure is, sure enough.
That's why I didn't just stay home. If you give me a chance, you know I'm gonna take it. We're way too nice to go home alone. Give me your hand, 'cause I just wanna touch you. And later on when we dance, I won't hold you too tight. Please, baby, please, baby, please. Come
This is
on
what they
with
call
me.
love making music. This is love making music. No doubt about it. You gotta grab that man, or you gotta grab that woman. And you just kind of hold them tight. Just kind of rock real slow. This is that kind of music that you just kind of, it's like that rock me baby. I want you to rock me all night long. That's the kind of music this is, y'all. This is that rock me baby kind of music. You know?
Don't be afraid, darling. Come,
You know, you've had a long and hard, stressful day, right? You need to unwind. This is the kind of music you want to chill. This is like chill. This is like chill music. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I did it again, and my apologies. My apologies. Bobby Jones,
Yes.
I hope I didn't blow your ear out with that one. I had to turn the monitor. You know, that song did something to me. That song really.
Which one?
Woo! Come home with me tonight. What were you thinking? Did you write that song?
Yes.
What were you thinking about when you wrote that song? Or who were you thinking about?
I was thinking about you know, being alone somewhere and there's no connection with anyone, and then all of a sudden you pull up in your car and stop, and there's this pretty woman standing right there waiting to cross the street. And my goodness gracious, and it went crazy from there.
That's a pretty song. Who are some of the musicians that you've worked with over the years?
Oh my Lord.
Well, who are some of the musicians that you're currently working with? I mean, I get it. Your career spans 50 years. So who are some of the musicians that you currently work with when you tour?
Oh, I'm working with my band is called the Chicago Blues Machine, Chicago Blues Machine. It's Coco Taylor's old name for her band, because her nephew plays drums for me, and she passed away, and Ricky Williams, bass player from Chicago. They're all from Chicago, and the guitar player is Honey Davis, and the keyboard player is Detroit Mike.
Detroit Mike.
Yeah, he's from Detroit.
Hey, listen, I don't mean to interrupt, but we're running out of time. Can I have a part 2 interview with you?
Let me say this to you. I've never seen you, but your spirit tells me that you can have anything you want.
Oh, I like that. That sounds so good. Thank you. So what I'm going to do after this interview, I'm going to give you a call if you have a quick moment after my show, after it wraps up, and we'll pick a date, and then you'll come back on for part 2. But before we go, I just want to talk real quickly about the album that Pete Peterson produced for you. What's the name of that album?
You Ain't Got No Proof.
You ain't got no proof. That's bad to the bone. So when we come back for the part 2 Blues Legends interview series, I like to play some of that music. I'm a big fan of Pete Peterson's music. I mean, the quality of it is always great. I'm a huge fan of Bobby Jones. So what I'm going to do, Bobby, I'm going to close out with one of your songs. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you want to say to your fans who are tuned in around the world right now? What do you want to say to them?
Oh, man. On behalf of JuLā DuCré, thank you, guys. Thank you for hanging in there with us, because Julie is beautiful and is working at something great. She needs the support. I'm not beautiful, but I'm singing something great. I need the support. And actually, we all need to support each other. So God bless you all. Take care of yourself. And if you see a friend out there without a smile, give them one of yours.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. And I just want to say thank you, and I just love you. I respect you, I admire you, and I can't wait to have you on again for another 1 hour. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close out my show with the Bobby Jones song, ladies and gentlemen. It's called There's a Rat Loose in My House. Yes, indeed. There's a rat loose in my house. So Bobby, we'll talk in just a few minutes.
Okay.
All right. Be good now. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the amazing Bobby Jones, legend. He has recorded over 200 songs in his career. He has multiple albums, multiple. So I'm going to get him back on for part 2. And I just want to say, I promise to be back next Saturday, same place, same time, 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're listening to me on TuneIn Radio, I need you guys to follow me, JuLaDuCré. Follow me. That way you can get notifications when I'm going to be on air. I am broadcasting on Big G Artist Agency's YouTube channel. That video is going to be there. As soon as I finish this broadcast, you can go to YouTube, go to Big G Artist Agency. Also, if you want to be my friend on JuLā DuCré Facebook page, hit me up. Official JuLā, J-U-L-A, DuCré, D-U-C-R-E. I believe in keeping it real, keeping it 100, and walking with love, walking in faith, walking in strength, and knowing that if you put your best foot forward in life, the rest is going to be easy. And remember to stay in your lane and do you. Never worry about what other people are doing, because they're not you and you are not them. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to close this show with Bobby Jones. And we'll thank you for tuning in to the JuLā DuCré Show. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Peace and love always. Thank y'all for tuning in. I've got to close my show.
Yeah, baby. Nobody believe that my food and my woman more deserve.
You're listening to New Orleans with a twist. Right here.
Have a great weekend. I'll be back next Saturday. In fact, I'm here every Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, making radio cool again. Our live stream address is www.crescentradio.com. You can also listen live on TuneIn Radio app. Have a great weekend. Peace and love, and I'm out, guys.